Hey everybody, can't tell you how excited I am to see this movie. Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. So, this is episode 9, the finale. This is it. So, those of you who, maybe don't know, I don't know, who cares? Me, growing up, Star Wars. It was called Star Wars, not The New Hope. And Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi was what I grew up with. I have all the action figures upstairs in my attic. The Millennium Falcon, Darth Vader case, you name it. I got Ewok Village. I got it all. And then they came out with The Phantom Menace and a whole prequel. Great. I understand they weren't to everybody's expectations. They weren't the original trilogy. I get it, but it's still, I loved it. That was when I was just out of college, and I loved it. And then they came out with the next 3. The post-Star Wars, what I'm calling them, post-Star Wars, after Return of the Jedi, which works in Luke Skywalker, obviously, Han Solo, everything like that. This is the culmination of that. You don't know how excited I am. Obviously, I've had a little bit to drink before I started filming, but I am super excited. I'm going to watch this, and I am elevated beyond belief, so I'll get into it a little bit, tell you what the story's really about, and then ultimately tell you what I think. But, I mean, no reason to watch my review. Just like my channel, subscribe to it, and go watch this. If you haven't seen it, if you're watching this, you know. It's awesome. So, alright, that's enough. I'm going to get into it here a little bit, and I'll check in from time to time. 2 hours and 21 minutes. I can't wait. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I apologize. I have to do a quick check-in here. We're at the 24-minute, 38-second mark of the Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker. Whatever. We're into the Ren and Kylo Ren and Rey stuff. Whatever. What I don't get is how is Princess Leia in this so much? Like I had assumed, like I knew she was going to be in it. I mean, obviously she died before this film. The actual actress died before this film. How is she in this movie so much? Like, I don't get it. Like, I thought there was going to be cameos. You know what I mean? And that, okay, I get it. A little part here, maybe that she acted out before. No. If you haven't seen it, she's in the whole first beginning, so phenomenal. I mean, it's about me. For me, yeah, they already showed Darth Vader's mask. I'm excited. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. I'm excited, but, it's Princess Leia. It's Han Solo. It's Luke Skywalker. Chewbacca. And I know Lando's in this as well, so it's all about that for me. And seeing her in this is pretty awesome, as much as she was in it so far. Only at 24 minutes, so let me get back to it. I know I'm going to be checking in a lot more from time to time, but bear with me. Great movie. If anybody watches this review, great. If not, it's a great movie. Go watch the movie. Sorry, I'm just rambling now. All right, getting back into it. I'll be back in a little bit.
I have to kill you.
Hey everybody, want to do another quick check-in here. 54 minutes, 49 seconds, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, and I tell you, I've seen it on the previews, so this is not a spoiler alert. But if you've seen it on the previews, you see C-3PO turn and look at everybody and say, I want to look at my friends one last time. And it hit. And that's, ooh, man, you didn't know what it meant, when you watch it, when you're watching a movie, you see that, oof, so I wanted to stop in and check with you, see how you're doing. Hopefully you've caught up to this point. Wanted to make sure it was real, and that's what happened. I mean, I'm not spoiling it for you, but when he does that, it's like, whew. Alright, that's it. I'm going to get back into it. Sorry, this is going to happen all night long as I watch this movie, because it is, like I said, the culmination of Star Wars. Alright, I'll be back in a little bit, I'm sure. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. And a lot of mixed emotions, to be honest with you. So, I think I've explained myself very well and where I stand on a Star Wars trilogy, whatever, movie series. I apologize. Real quick before I get into it too deep, You know, it was funny. I was going to stop it when it happened, but, you know, if you're ever like a man afraid of crying, when Chewie loses his, you know, it's like, wow, boom. You know what I mean? Like, if you've seen it, it's like, oh, you know, Chewie losing it there. So, all right, enough of that. But, you know, it's a great movie. Great movie, and I love everything they did. I think they've done everything they possibly could for a guy like me. You know, without ruining anything, but everybody, you know, is in it. And that's fantastic. I think they did a great job there, the best they could. J.J. Abrams, you know, mad props to you. And how they make them, and in some scenes, look younger. I always love that stuff. Anyway, here's the thing. Great story. And I wonder, for those of you out there who maybe have fallen in love with this trilogy as opposed to the original trilogy, and your feelings towards Rey and Poe and Finn, you know what I mean? It's like they're great. Like, do you feel the same way I feel about Han, Luke, and Leia? You know, Chewie's in both of them, so you always feel great about Chewie. But really, that's the thing, and again, great job. I'm glad they did it. I think it was fantastic watching it. Like the best they could have done. They stuck true to everything, and they made it look real good. It seemed like they rehashed a lot of Return of the Jedi for me, but you know, that's just me. But hey, it all comes down to, like, I loved the whole original trilogy and them, and I wonder if people today fall in love with this on its own merit. Not because of what has happened in the past, but like, hey, I'm a grade school kid who loves sci-fi kind of stuff, and these three movies were fantastic, and I love Poe, and I love Finn, and I love Rey, and this was great, you know, like I did. So that's where I am. You know, I'm going to repeat myself again, but like when I was a kid, that was the bomb. And this is good, don't get me wrong, but it's not the bomb like that was. I can't believe I'm right now on YouTube saying the bomb, and I apologize. But that's where we are. That's what I got for you. I thought they did a good job of telling all the stories and doing what they needed to do in order to finish this trilogy. And it was very good. And I loved it. I loved everything. There's nothing bad I can say about it, I don't think, except for the fact that it's not the original. You know what I mean? Like, I wish they would have. I wish that after Return of the Jedi, they would have done these three movies with those characters, and that would have been awesome. You know, you could have done that, but I get it. But you know, hats off to George Lucas and J.J. Abrams. I mean, he did a great job of carrying this torch here. So that's it. That's all I got for you. I don't know what else to say. Nothing else there is to say. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. What did you think? Are you a guy like me who loved it? And now it's good, but I don't know. The other thing, real quick, I know I'm rambling on, and I apologize if you stuck with me this far. Thank you. I appreciate it. But there's a part in this when I'll come back. When I was a young kid and Return of the Jedi was coming out in the theaters, and they're showing, you know, the previews on all the TVs and stuff like that, and I was watching it. I always remembered there was one scene with the red stormtroopers, because before Return of the Jedi there was no red stormtroopers. They're all, you know, the white stormtroopers, and they're lined up when Darth Vader was getting off of a ship. And that always stuck in my mind, and I always thought that was fantastic. And they brought those red stormtroopers back. I'm assuming it has something to do with the Sith piece of it, or the Knights of Ren or whatever, but they were there, the red stormtroopers, and I was like, oh, you know, brought even that back for me. And some other really cool characters from Return of the Jedi, ones that I was telling my daughter about. I'm like, you love these guys, but I won't tell you what they were, in case you didn't see it. Alright, I'm rambling on. I liked it a lot. Very, very good. And that's it. That's all I get. You know what I mean. I don't have to repeat myself anymore. Check it out if you haven't already, make sure you watch it. Drop me a line. Let me hear your comments. What did you think of the movie? What did you think of it compared to the other three? We're not even talking Phantom Menace and stuff like that. Let's leave that out of the conversation. Let's talk about the original trilogy and the final trilogy. And I tell you what, if there's more coming, which I hear, I'm still going to watch them. But they won't mean as much to me as the original. I said it again. I apologize. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub. Hey everybody, I'm back for a rare open discussion about Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. As I was upstairs making my pizza, getting ready to watch my TV show, I kept playing it back in my mind, and I thought I have to come back and talk a little bit more. So if you stayed with me this long, I appreciate it. Now, there might be some spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, turn me off now. Come back later. Okay, so really, as I think about it, and I thought about the difference between characters, and okay, that aside, when I think about this trilogy as a whole, and I was thinking about this when I watched the movie, I'm pretty sure that George Lucas wrote 1 through 9 out, right? As I'm watching this, I'm wondering, does that follow the same, we know he wrote 1 through 6, right? Which is up to Return of the Jedi. We just never saw the first 3, and then the second 3 was what they made the movie about. And I'm pretty sure he wrote 7 through 9. Is this that story? I don't know. I don't feel that it was. Here's the piece. As I thought back about it, Return of the Jedi, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back had the overarching story. You knew, that was from the beginning to the end. It all made sense. It all flowed. You could tell there was a point. Like, they couldn't stop at Star Wars. They had to continue on, and it all flowed. Did that happen with this one? I don't know if it did. I feel like the Emperor was forced at the end. They brought him up, I think they started with a Snoke, with Kylo Ren, Snoke, and then, something happens, and now they're going to say, well, you know what, let's throw the Emperor in there. And I think about it now, like, I don't felt like his purpose was there from the beginning. You know what I mean? And that's pretty bad. Now, I had my faults with the second one. The second one was just one ship flying through the whole movie. This one had a little bit more jumping around, but again, it didn't feel streamlined for me. It didn't feel purposeful. They're all running around doing their own thing, and then it all works out in the end. So I wanted to bring those things up to you. Again, I appreciate what they did. Bringing people back and putting a ribbon on all of this and that kind of thing. But as I thought about it a little bit more, it feels forced. It's like, hey, I didn't think we'd get it out of we didn't get past the first one, and we got to make a second one. Now we got to make a third one. We got to make it all together. So there you go. And even in the beginning, real quick, last part. In the beginning, I thought of this, and I didn't bring it up. The excitement had me. They had to come up with like that rock to help them get somewhere. But did the rock end up getting them somewhere? I don't know, but it was like weird when I saw it. I was like, that's not normal for Star Wars that they need something like that to get them to the Emperor who's hiding somewhere. I just found it odd. I don't know. And then I don't even, then they're crushing it, and then there's another one, and they're all over the place. With this little rock that helps them find things. That was the other piece of it that didn't jive for me, and I don't know if it jives for me now. So, some late night complaints for you there on the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, and they do the bloodline thing. It's like, okay, we know, Leia and Luke, of course, daughters of Darth Vader, great, okay, and now they're like, okay, now Ben is the son of Han and Leia. Okay, they kicked that off when you think about the trilogy, and now they're going to throw in, Rey's the daughter of Palpatine, which was that, maybe that was, because, they kind of left it hanging the entire thing, and that was the whole big secret, but wouldn't you have hinted a little bit more towards that in the beginning? They kept it a secret. It was like, we're going to hold on to this until we need to pull this card in the final one. We don't know what that card is going to be, but we'll hold on to it and do that. So, there you go. My ramblings there. again, if you stuck with me, I appreciate it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all my ramblings at the end. If you didn't stick with me, that's okay. You're not hearing it now, and that's it. That's it. I'm gonna get going. Hopefully, I don't think of anything more while I go upstairs and make some more pizza. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub. Hey everybody. I'm sorry. I can't stop thinking about this film. I have once again a little bit of an open discussion for you. For those of you who've seen the film, obviously you've watched this long. So, two things are bothering me. I can't figure it out. One, Finn kept saying he wanted to say something to Rey. Or he said it to her once, and then Poe was like, what did you say? Never says it. Never says it. Like, why do you put that in there? I don't get it. Like, are they planning for the next movie? You know? Is it implied somewhere that I just didn't get? I don't know. They all hug at the end. There's nothing there. I don't get that. Okay? One. Two, Chewbacca gets a medal. It looks like the medal that they got in Star Wars. But I assume it's Han Solo's medal? I don't know. They don't say. There's no lead into that. I don't know. You know, it's like, you gotta put more meaning behind it. I gotta see where it comes from. Why is it me? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, could be somebody else's. Could not even be that medal. That's what I thought it was. I don't know. I have no idea. But there's no significance to it, unless you're just left to assume that that's what happened. But it's not built up. For those of you who didn't see Star Wars, the original, might not get that. I didn't even get it until I looked at it and Googled it. Alright. I'm sure I'll be back in a little bit to talk about this a little bit more, but it's just bothering me and I can't let it go. So, open discussion. So stick around, I could be back. Now, hopefully not. Now you'll hear the music play and you know to move on to my next video. Alright, sorry. See ya.